Say Eugene Henley Jr. is the leader of a syndicate responsible for extortion, human trafficking, and murder.
Oh yeah, we back with another episode of The Twisted Tea, where we come to bring you the news with a twist. And well, we've been bringing you them big U case files, straight up.
Yeah,
and
boy.
we left off on page 20. That's right, and I said 21, they get into wiretaps, and oh yeah, it looked like they about to have some fun. So let's dive right in. Oh yeah, so before diving into page 21, it says the statement of probable cause at the end of page 20, unless otherwise noted below. My knowledge of this fact summary hereon is based on training and experience, my discussion with other investigators, and my review of law enforcement reports, search warrants, subpoenas, wiretaps, domain for public interviews such as YouTube, podcast, docuseries. Oh yeah, that boy, docuseries. You know, that they've been telling us about. They've been telling us that the docuseries of things, they're like, yeah, baby, he said this on this and he said that on that. Yeah, so electronic and other written communications, interviews with certain individuals of the city of Los Angeles, records and public available documents. It ain't looking good.
And everybody always get upset, but it's different. As
discussed, I believe Hanley, Big U, led the Big U enterprise. Robinson was a long-yeared associate of Hanley and served as a right-hand man, underboss, and enforcer to the enterprise for Big U. And Martin was also a close, trusted lieutenant of Hanley, the Big U enterprise. Much of Big U's enterprise structure in affiliation with the Rolling 60s is public domain. That means it's public record. Again, good.
Before.
Okay. And at what point did you actually join?
I actually never joined.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You never joined.
I'm I'm one of them guys who just here.
Just around.
Put it like this. It ain't on you, sometimes it's in you. You know what I mean?
In the television series Hip Hop Uncovered, the docu-series, The Rollins, which Hanley executive produced, Hanley detailed the history of the Rolling 60s and his involvement with the gang. Hanley admitted he was a Rolling 60s member from the first generation. Hanley advised that the Rolling 60s was a large Crip gang known to install fear in the communities. Hanley claimed that he did not have gang-related tattoos because people already knew where he was from, and that it was never questioned. A similar quote that Hanley often repeated when asked why he has no gang tattoos. Based on my experience, training, participation in this investigation, and statements corroborated how Big U Enterprise works to this day, Hanley uses fear to install the Rolling 60s in the community. In his association with the gang to further the Big U Enterprise racketeering activities and profit from the same. It says gang tattoos it isn't on you, it's in you. That's Hanley's phrase. It isn't on you, but in you. Yeah.
Kind of like you walk a certain life and you live a certain life and you from a certain area. I like to tell dudes I ain't from nowhere, I am there. That's what I am. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, boy.
It's where it's in your heart.
Now, much of Big U's enterprise structure in affiliation with the Rolling 60s is public domain. That means you can find it anywhere. In the television series Hip Hop Uncovered, that docu-series which Hanley was the executive producer of, Hanley detailed the history of the Rolling 60s and his involvement with the gang. He also admitted he was a Rolling 60s member from the first generation. He advised that the Rolling 60s was a large Crip gang known to install fear in the community. Hanley claimed that he had no gang-related tattoos because people, already knew where he was from. And it was never a question. A similar quote that Hanley often repeated when asked why he had no gang tattoos is that it isn't on you, it's in you. Yeah, that's right. You don't wear it, it's inside you. After encountering legal troubles as a juvenile, Hanley moved from California to Chicago. Hanley admitted elsewhere to being on the run and conducting illegal activities in Chicago. While Hanley was living in Chicago, Hanley decided to move back to LA to participate in a gang war after an associate's murder. At the time, Hanley noticed his mentality was that we're hunting. To us, it isn't about fighting. It wasn't about guns now. My philosophy was, the gun we can get you any and everywhere you need to be. After Hanley returned to LA in the 80s, he became known as a fighter for the Rolling 60s by fighting other gang members. Hanley recalled those fights were about dominating the Rolling 60s competition. Hanley remembered he and approximately 200 other Rolling 60 gang members went to a Run DMC concert in Long Beach Convention Center to establish and maintain their dominance within LA-based street gang scene.
Yeah, boy.
Hanley characterized his and the Rolling 60s morale code at the time as getting them before they get you. Throughout the 1980s, Hanley fostered a fierce and earned reputation for violence, which included multiple charges for first-degree murder, as well as a charge for attempted murder on a peace officer. They didn't say a police officer, they said a peace officer. According to these statements, Hanley believed that by 1987, he had cemented his reputation as a person who shouldn't be crossed.
Yeah, boy.
Hanley recounted serving time in county jail where he beat up other inmates for the purpose of establishing a pecking order. He also earned money through the drug trade in other cities such as Minneapolis, where he realized that he had an influence over the Rolling 60 gang members. Hanley was 22. He then claimed to stop selling drugs and transitioned to a different racket. He believed in his moniker, Big U. He believed in his other character, basically. That's what they trying to say. Was, well, so big and ominous. See, Big U, he felt like he was another person. Every time I go through the door, I really was a beast. That was the mentality, you see? Despite having such power within the Rolling 60s, Hanley did not have a reliable source of income outside of the drug trade.
Nope.
Hanley subsequently connected with the hip-hop artist Kenneth Green, aka Papa LQ, and became his manager. In a docuseries, Papa LQ recounted that Hanley was in tune with both the community and gang culture. Hanley also became the manager of hip-hop artist Ricardo Emmanuel Brown, aka Corrupt, self-admitted Rolling 60s gang member. In 91, Hanley was found guilty and sentenced to 23 years in state prison for robbery. And as he admitted, he was also charged with kidnapping. While Hanley was incarcerated, Hanley stated that Corrupt maintained contact with Hanley and ensured that he kept him involved in the developments in the music industry. I don't want to read the word. In the 2022, on a podcast, Dub C and Max C show, Hanley described himself as, well, an enforcer in prison and recounted knocking out somebody's eyeball right out the socket, as well as committing stabbings. In 2004, Hanley was released from prison. In the docuseries, hip-hop artist Calvin Brodus Jr., aka Snoop Dogg, characterized Hanley as institutionalized. You say the wrong thing, you get bleeped up, fucked up. He was short-tempered and serious about stuff that was going on. So they saying that Snoop, even inside of a series that they did, Snoop mentions Big U and said that he was a serious person. If you said the wrong thing, well, you getting messed up. That he was a short-tempered person. Something about him I liked, because I felt like he was a leader. Hanley claimed that he was focused on healing his community when he returned from prison. According to Henley, his primary objective was to affect change and lift the community to be a better place instead of destroying it. Hanley's own words. Though Hanley's own words show, well, the falsity of his claimed reformation. For example, on December 31st, 2022, on an intercepted call. Basically, they were listening. Hanley explained his motive for committing, murder on behalf of the Big U enterprise, stating, "What you guys see on the internet, y'all keep hearing other people don't have nothing to talk about but sell. Y'all keep hearing other people who don't have nothing to talk about but sell. Let me explain something to you. If I would have had a problem with any man, color, creed, king, or kind, the issue would be resolved, and he wouldn't be here. Bang, bang. Or I wouldn't be here. Bang, bang. Oh, wow. They said, this is what Hanley said. He said, if I would have had a problem with any man, color, creed, king, or any kind, or an issue, it's going to get resolved. One of us wouldn't be here. That's what he said. It ain't no kidding. It ain't no kid, nothing. Guess he's saying he ain't playing. And it damn near nobody who been in this motherfucker longer than me can stand against me. And me, who I am, if I had a problem with any man, see, that's what he said. If I had a problem with any man and this wouldn't be so funny to me, I'm still who they say I am. He said if he ain't laughing about it and it ain't funny, he's his old self. Similarly, on April 23rd in 2023, on another one of them calls that they was listening to, Hanley discussed gang politics with a co-conspirator, and he stated, "I'm retired, nigga." That's what he said. Activist. Question mark? I'll pull up on your block right now and show up and show out. That's what happened to the last that thought I was retired. What'd he say? What was he saying before that? Let me help you rephrase what he just said. He said, you think I'm retired? An activist? I'll pull up on your block right now. Show up, show out, and show you that I ain't retired. Like he said, it ain't on me, it's in me. So, what he's telling you is, it's always in him. Don't ever think we retired. That's what he said. According to the docuseries, they got him on a wiretap for that, though. I just want y'all to know, they said they got him on an intercepted call for those words in dark letters with the pull-up. According to the docuseries, this ain't what I said, this is what they said. Hanley transitioned to life in Los Angeles following incarceration. He returned to the hip-hop industry. Corrupt connected Hanley with Suge Knight, the former chief and officer, CEO at Death Row Records. Now we know what type of pull shit. We know what Suge Knight was pulling over there, jumping in. Now we know why. Hanley recounted that Suge assisted him financially when he was released from prison. That's interesting. Yeah. it's interesting because they were opposite sides. Whatever. Hanley, money. Hanley referred to himself as Blue Suge Knight. As I told you, they were opposite sides. As far as the gangs, as Hanley, but then again, Corrupt wasn't Blue. So I guess Hanley, as of 2024, was widely regarded too as the leader of the Rolling 60s. See that?
Yeah, boy.
Back in 04. Right here we are 25 years later. Because of this reputation that he garnished back in the 80s, Hanley was well positioned to ultimately form and lead the Big U enterprise. Okay. In approximately 2008, Hanley formed a relationship with a hip-hop artist named Joseph. Y'all can get mad, but I'm not. Ashangdon. I don't know how to pronounce Nipsey Hussle's last name. Okay? If y'all know how to do it, I'm happy. I'm glad. I'm sorry. And after several years, Hanley temporarily left the industry after he had a falling out with Nipsey Hussle related to equipment at Hanley's shop. Hanley recounted in a docuseries that Nipsey Hussle made a diss song about Hanley, but that Hanley is a scrapper, not a rapper. Hanley stated that even after they settled their differences, he picked up Nipsey Hussle one morning so that Nipsey Hussle could get disciplined for the diss song. However, Nipsey Hussle's brother interfered and told Hanley that Nipsey Hussle wasn't going nowhere. LA reports documents that violence erupted, and when LA officers arrived on the scene, a firearm was present and discharged. In 2009, Nipsey was murdered by a member of the Rolling 60s. I just want to go back before we get into B where it says checking in. It said, based on the officer's training back on page 24, blue referring to the color associated with the Crip gang in Los Angeles, rather than the Blood gang which Suge Knight was associated with. Based on the investigation, I believe that this provides background and corroborates that the Big U enterprise structure, Suge Knight openly hired members from the Mob Piru Bloods to work for his charities and companies. Just as Hanley operates on fear and threats, Suge's criminal history is propellant with criminal threats of violence and death. Suge Knight, it's pretty much the same. Suge Knight is currently incarcerated for purposeful driving his car over two men, killing one. You see what I mean? In a recent interview, Hanley stated that outside of Suge Knight, Hanley is the one person who has done more for the community, and that Hanley has bailed out Suge Knight and paid for his lawyers. Well, I mean, it makes sense that you did that for Suge Knight, considering how he hooked you up years ago. But check in. Let's get into check in. Okay? Check in. Hanley and Big U Enterprise are widely known for requiring a check-in for out-of-town entertainers or gang members in LA. As Hanley described in a docuseries, if I don't answer the phone, it could be death for someone else. Everywhere there's someone like me, and you can't put a monetary value on his touch in hip-hop. That's what Hanley said? He didn't say that. Okay. On his touch in hip-hop. After more than 3 decades as a Rolling 60s member and several years managing famous hip-hop artists, Hanley was widely regarded as a, original gangster OG in the docuseries. Record producer Andre Young, Dr. Dre, there's a lot of people named in this already, explained that it was very helpful to have a OG who can clear the streets within this operating environment. Hanley instituted the concept of the check-in when hip-hop artists and other celebrities visit LA. Number 1, big underlines, how the check-in works. Okay.
Yeah, boy.
The check-in is a term used when someone travels outside of their home city to another. During that travel, the individual must, call me on the phone, check in with local street representatives of the city to, pay tax or a fee for permission, both to, move about freely and have an event or conduct business in that city without the risk of harassment or danger from criminal elements. Now, while Hanley and other supporters attempt to persuade the public that the check-in provides safety and security for those who do so, as set forth hereon, Hanley and the Big U enterprise also manufactured the very danger they put out and protect against. Listen. According to Hanley's statements in a docuseries, damn it, man, you were supposed to wait like another 10, 15 years before you started talking this stuff in these docuseries, bro. I get it happened like in the 80s and you think it's past you, but clearly it ain't. So, according to Hanley's statement in the docuseries, as corroboration by an investigation, some visiting hip-hop artists and other individuals pay Hanley the fee to check in if they are not from LA. This is what I mean when I say that these things be real repetitive. In the docuseries, James Anthony, aka Bimmy, and Steve LaBelle, CEO of A2Z Entertainment, stressed that it is important to know the right people, such as Hanley, when you visit places like, LA. However, as a podcaster, Livingston Allen, aka DJ Academics, there you go, explained in the docuseries The Check-In. We got DJ Academics in this shit. This motherfucker's in everything. To check in is to commission for the gang or the neighborhood where an OG is from. Christian Anthony Mathis, aka Trick Trick, also said in a docuseries that he enforces the check-in. In the docuseries that he enforces to check in when people.
Yeah, boy.
Explaining it. Yeah, he enforces it in Detroit, Michigan. And that Trick added, "Come without permission. I don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. I create these laws, so see me enforce them. All we coming for is our position." Trick further explained that he instituted a no-fly zone in Detroit, which artists could not perform in the city unless Trick was paid. Without paying a commission to an OG's organizer, such as Big U's visiting LA, you're at a risk of violence. Hanley also provided an example of individuals who do not check in. This is page 28, by the way. Of individuals who do not check in with him until it's too late, such as rap artist Taquan Tyrell Bowen, aka Quando Rondo, who Hanley discussed in another interview, and who was later targeted in a murder for hire plot where his associate was killed. Or did he? Check it. Who knows? When defending his practice in interviews, Hanley has stated that it is no different than when a Learjet flies over the United States airspace. They want to know who you are. Hanley said his practice is no different, which I believe indicates that he purports to own, control, and so basically what they trying to tell us is that because they think, just like Trick said, he sets his own rules, he does his own thing, and he's doing it all through the business. Okay? How Hanley and the Big U Enterprise responded to failures to check in? Well, in 2022, the FBI, you Here we go. Interviewed, well, a cooperating witness. They're gonna call this person CI1. Well, this is the first time we're hearing about CI1. Who told the FBI that these check-ins, right? Indictments. Well, CI1 said that he knew Hanley, who was a Rolling 60 member. CI1 also said that Hanley led a money-making gang. Well, that was distinct from the Rolling 60s, referring to that Big U enterprise. According to C1, again, snitch one. Hey, call it what you want. They talking. Rap artists, athletes, and other individuals needed to pay Hanley a fee when they visited Los Angeles. CI1 has a criminal history that includes convictions for possession of sale of narcotics in 2003 and 2009, and a variation of, well, California health and safety code violations that go back to 2003, other California code standard stuff, from credit cards, sentencing prior cases, alleging title sections. Okay, wait a minute. However, former President Biden committed CU1's sentence for that offense. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, boy.
If we can figure out, all right, so Biden took care of somebody's sentence for President Biden. We got to see who, I ain't gonna look it up now, but we got to see who Biden took care of their sentence for. And we can figure out who the CI1 was. I'm surprised they put it out here in these documents like this, because you can figure that right out. All you gotta do is figure out who did that, and then retrieved. He had these issues in 03, 09. His shooting was inhabited. California said, wow. Okay. However, he commuted his sentence for that. We gotta see who he was partnering, and then we can start narrowing that list down. Anyway, CI, that person number one, Lil Yappa, we're gonna call them CW1 is Lil Yappa, okay? Lil Yappa number one believed that fees that Hanley collected were, well, extortion payments. Lil Yappa number one then recounted that the large buy-in dice game occurred in LA in June of 2019. Now, the dice game involved the professional boxer AB, AB's associates, and several prominent NBA players. So if they're talking about a professional boxer, I believe we got into this. Another one, the professional boxer is Eugene, and we know that already. All right, that's AB. That's what he go by. He be doing stuff like this in dice games. It just makes sense. So Eugene, right? And according to Lil Yappa number one, Adrian Bronner and his associates fixed the game and cheated the NBA players out of millions of dollars using them T's dice. Following that game, Hanley directed a group of Big U's enterprise associates to, well, run up on AB, who did not check in with Hanley.
Nope.
And to get the money back from him on the behalf of those cheated NBA players. Multiple members of that Rolling 60s ultimately arrived, and Hanley's team used them to press AB. Now, Lil Yappa number one said that Hanley was involved with the incident because Hanley was involved in or would have approved any dice games or similar events such as parties involving large sums of money and
Yeah, boy.
prominent NBA players and celebrities in LA. Multiple persons involved in the incidents who have been seen, interviewed, included NBA former players, confirmed that Hanley was paid about 100 racks for negotiating this debt. However, each later approached by associates AB,
Come on, spill the tea.
was later approached by associates of AB and told they still owed money. Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Lil Yappa number one was aware of other incidents where NBA players or celebrities would need to work with and get approval in advance from Big U to ensure their safety in LA. Really? He says, I am aware through interviews with NBA players that Hanley was then paid a commission by some of them players in order to threaten AB/negotiate a debt down. Okay. Interesting. So, events in Los Angeles like parties, gambling, advertisement shoots. Lil Yappa number 1 said that these celebrities would have to seek or pay Hanley for protection, we're on page 30, and approval, or face retaliation from Big U. At the onset of the investigation, victim number 1 was identified and was identified as an extorted victim. Victim number 1 is described further below. From April 14, 2022 until April 15, 2022, victim number 1 conducted a meeting with Big U that was well monitored and other unidentified individuals. During the meeting, Big U told victim number 1 and others that he got into it with AB after AB cheated current players out of some money, $1.5 million, and a former NBA All-Star out of $5 million. Damn, AB, some big ass dice game. Hanley also said that he charged the players about 100 racks. You know I need him alone. You know I need my finder's fee, baby. Give me my finder's fee, so that they could get their money back from AB. Now, a confidential informant involved with the cheating scam corroborated this information that AB was confronted for failing to check in with Hanley regarding the games. Oh, here goes the big black bold letters again. Supposedly, legitimately businesses and charities used by Big U Enterprise. Hanley and Martin formed an independent record label, Unique Records, in '96. In 2004, Henley formed Developing Options, for which Hanley is the CEO and Martin is the Chief Financial Officer. Victim 1 has a criminal history that includes arrest for narcotics conspiracy and distribution in violation of wealth codes sections, for which he is pending sentence. Robbery. Damn, so victim 1's going to jail. Okay. Which he's pending sentence, robbery, violation of a California law, felony for human trafficking of a minor under the age of 18. So here's the thing, even if this person can flip, they better not let that piece of shit flip if they was really trafficking somebody underage. Better not let that mother flipper flip, piece of sugar dips. Anyway, Developing Options does business as many other entities, including the Crenshaw Rams youth football team, which Big U is designed to give underprivileged children a safe outlet in sports with a chance to build skills for the future, including athletic scholarships. Athletic scholarships, according to its website. Developing Options used advocacy, education, resources, training, and development, and sports to achieve its objective. In the docuseries, Hanley indicated that Developing Options was a platform that he used to help individuals get to college instead of going to jail. Many other, I really don't know how it keeps going back down. Many other publicly available options available. Your boy's getting sleepy. I ain't even gonna lie. It's like 2:30 in the morning. We're gonna get through this though. We might even get y'all. We've been going for a bit. Alright. Many other publicly available recordings online show Hanley describing the structure of Developing Options, how it's funded, and what it claims to do for the community. Since approximately 2015, Developing Options has been the recipient of an annual $550,000 as a part of the GRID program overseen by the City of LA. From July 2018 to June 23rd, development options was allocated $2,352,000 from the City of Los Angeles. They pissed off. Okay, they are mad. From that, Hanley has drawn hundreds of thousands of dollars in his salary. That's right. They've gone to his salary. Now, the state GRYD program has a mandatory handbook that, well, is appended to each contract, and that developing options must comply because, well, it's under a state contract. The detailed and extensive handbook has many requirements that include extensive criminal background checks, compliances, training, approval of employees, attendance at meetings. Sorry, I was trying to get the bottom part. GRD also receives federal grants for funding. For example, in October of 2019 to September of 2022, they received $371,000 for a project Safe Neighborhood for a federal Department of Justice program. Okay, so the feds gave them money that they gave to Big U, basically. Logging activity and checking out with social enforcement, among other requirements, based on my review of documents in the course of the investigation. Development options appears to have failed to comply with some or potentially all of the requirements. Okay. Oh yeah, your boy fell asleep, but check this out. We left off on page 31. We heard 32 is gonna be fun, but 33 is gonna be even better, as we're gonna get into how
Spill the tea.
the activity and the murder of RW was taking place. Oh yeah, they're introducing that on page 33. So click them buttons and continue to follow for more. Thank you for tuning into an episode of the Twisted Tea, where we come to bring you the news with a twist.
And like say, I can look at the camera and tell it, you know what I mean? Like, as a grown man and a nigga who really speak for a crew of people, I gotta be better.
He has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur running a music label, and of somebody who gives back to the community here in Los Angeles. The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar,